In fact, we have management of Indiabulls joining us, Indiabulls Housing Finance. Ajit Mittal is with us now. Ajit, hi, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us once again. So, first thoughts. I know you've said this is bizarre, and I think the statement that we had is that this is a bit of a blackmail going on. But official comment on air.
Yeah, my first thought, this is part of a very well orchestrated criminal conspiracy on part of some blackmailers, crooks, and extortionists. This had been going on for last couple of months. These people had been making overtures, approaching us to extract money, telling us very blatantly that they'll put out these kind of false, absurd, wild allegations against us unless we pay them very hefty sums of money. All this had been credibly documented and presented before the law enforcement agencies. Well, we didn't succumb to the blackmail. Probably the concerned people thought that we'll probably be most vulnerable at this point in time because our application for merger process with the Lakshmi Vilas Bank is under consideration of the regulators, and they thought probably this is the
that point is taken.
We are the easy picking
sure,
at this
Mr.
point in time, and we'll succumb to that blackmail.
No, so, Ajit, that is one part. That is one point. That is one part that perhaps as you're saying that this is part of blackmail, but your response to the allegations. Let's come to that first. What's your official response to the allegations of siphoning off? Yes.
Official response is, first thing is, absolutely ludicrous, hilarious allegation with regard to siphoning off of 98,000 crore of rupees. Let me state it with all the emphasis on my command, very unequivocally and very categorically, forget 98,000 crore, not even 1 rupee has been siphoned off. First thing first, let that be clarified. With regard to other allegations, we are in the normal business of lending. There are companies that in the normal course of business we lend to. Well, I can't comment on each individual points they have referred to unless I have detailed input. All I can say is that all these things are pure wild allegations. There's no substance, not an iota of truth in any of these allegations.
Sure. Mr. Mittal, good morning. One of the allegations are that Sameer Gehlaut, with the help of Harish Fabiani, has created multiple shell companies to which Indiabulls Housing Finance has loaned huge sums of money under bogus and non-existent pretext. Now, I know you're saying that this 98,000 crore sum is sounding very bizarre, but are you also saying that there is no truth to this allegation at all? At no point in time were any shell companies created in order to...
crore, even 1 rupee is bizarre.
No, I'm not talking about the amount.
Even a penny has been siphoned off.
I'm talking about the allegations of shell companies being created. I'm talking about the allegations of shell companies being created and loans being given.
I told that it will not be possible for me in this short interaction to sort of respond to each and every single individual. For that, we'll probably have to have a more in-depth interaction, and with the help of detailed inputs from my team. Coming to Harish Fabiani, please be aware that he is one of the earliest, foremost angel investor in the Indiabulls Group back in late 1990s when the group, the foundation of the group was laid, and he, along with Mr. Lakshmi Mittal, was the first early investor in the group. And he is a happy investor. We do have a ongoing business relationship with him. At this point in time, not even 1 rupee is outstanding, and all that thing that the money was routed and all is a figment of imagination. There's nothing of that sort, and not even 1 rupee is outstanding from any of the Fabiani group of companies.
Okay, we got that. So the plea has also sought some directions to the central government, SEBI, Reserve Bank of India, etc., to restore these so-called misappropriated funds. Have you heard from any of the above authorities, either the SEBI or the RBI, at the moment?
See, this complaint originated about in the first week of May. Original complainant made some allegations. In fact, they're part of the same racket. They're part of the same criminal ring. The original complainant, one Vikash Shankar, right? He's behind the bars. He alleged a fraud of 55,000 crore of rupees. And he wrote to all the, regulatory bodies, government agencies and everything. Before writing to them, he had approached us. And once we failed to concede to his demands, they sent the applications to these agencies that you are mentioning. After that, again, they approached, they say, we'll go and withdraw these allegations. We'll write to these very agencies saying that these were not the right, truthful allegations, and we'll withdraw if we pay. We again didn't pay. Instead, we approached the police authorities. We had credible evidence. Police made its preliminary probe. They registered an FIR. They raided his house, and they found a lot of incriminating evidence. And he's under arrest, and the court has remanded him to police custody, and the further probe is ongoing.
Okay.
And the real mastermind behind this ring is somebody else. At this point in time, it's not fair on my part to name, but there is an active mastermind, and the agencies would soon reach him. And as for the other agencies and all, we are a regulated company. We are subject to inspection, periodic inspections by all the regulatory bodies. So that's ongoing. There's nothing. As and when any further specific information is called for by the regulators or by any government agency, we'll be happy to reply. There's nothing to hide. Everything is on above board.
Okay, two-part question then, Ajit. A, do you see this impacting or delaying the RBI decision on the LVB merger, and B, does it impact the overall growth of the company or the day-to-day business, because there's so much effort, time being spent on these issues now?
Unfortunately, this is what the society as a whole has to collectively ponder. Indiabulls Group employs 30,000 people. We are one of the largest taxpayers. We are one of the largest dividend payers. The group has 15 years of credible track record, across financial services industry. So if these kind of crooks, blackmailers, extortionists have a field day, any business is bound to, have a sort of setback. As for agencies, regulators, whether Reserve Bank or any other agencies, they take a very calibrated view of things. I am sure they don't act in a sort of jiffy. The facts are facts. They go by the facts. Merely making these wild, absolutely ludicrous, malicious charges doesn't really influence the regulators or the bodies. This is my view.
Sure. No, just coming back to my colleague's question, at what stage is the LVB merger at the moment? And with the Indiabulls real estate deal done now, have you guys approached the RBI yet? Any hurdles to the deal?
Well, no, that's an ongoing process. You don't approach the regulators on a day-to-day basis. There's an established protocol for that. So as and when the need arises, we'll approach them. As far as the real estate transaction, that was the first tranche. The second tranche also hopefully will happen within a month's time or so. And as far as LVB process and all, so that's a process. We are not impatient. It's not as if that is the be-all and end-all for us. It continues to be a good opportunity. For the financial sector, is in the overall interest of the financial sector, for the robustness of the financial system, and creating a much healthy, more robust banking system in the country. So we look at it from that perspective. For us, it's business as usual. It may take time, is fine with us.
Okay, Lata is back with us. Lata, you have any questions?
No, well, I just wanted to know, they demanded money from you, sir? The people who have taken you to court?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, Lata. This has been ongoing for last couple of months.
Okay.
And see, these
Didn't
two
you file an
people,
FIR or
one
something?
name is Vikas Shankar. The other one, who's the...
You filed an FIR
Yeah,
for
let me
this,
just complete. The other one is... Yeah, no, the one who has filed the petition. See, he owns 4 shares, and those shares were bought as late as May end or something, in the month of May. The other guy owned 2 shares. He also bought it sometime in early 19 or late 18. The idea was to be a stakeholder, to be a shareholder, so that in the guise of a shareholder, they can be aggrieved investor in the company, and they have a legitimate sort of bona fide ground to file this kind of absurd complaints in the garb of a whistleblower. So all that proves that this is a very, very carefully orchestrated, well laid down conspiracy.
Any more such instances, Mr. Mittal?
And we at Indiabulls are strongly, because there's no wrongdoing on our part, so there is a question of succumbing to the blackmail. So, and we'll deal with them. The law enforcement agencies are
No, I'm asking, are there other
so
instances?
I'm sure law will deal with them.
I'm asking, were there other instances?
Pardon?
Or have there been any other instance of blackmail, or is it only this case?
No, this is the first time we see, as I told, there's a backdrop to this. Ever since this process for merger, our conversion into a bank, these people perceived us to be an easy prey, that look, we'll probably be most vulnerable at this point in time. By a little bit of arm twisting, by these kind of threats and blackmail, we'll easily succumb and they can extract a heavy pound of flesh. So this was the first time we encountered this kind of thing.
Okay. Just coming back to the deal, you said that the second tranche of the real estate deal will come in a month's time. Will the promoters infuse the funds received from the sale of the Indiabulls real estate deal to the housing finance company?
See, not just housing finance company, promoter Mr. Gehlot is founder and promoter of a lot of businesses, including housing finance company. From time to time, if you see, he has been putting his share of money in all the businesses which he's incubating. Last year, he infused close to 500 crore in our, this consumer finance business under Indiabulls Ventures Limited. Similarly, he has also infused a lot of money in our insurance businesses, the parent company, which is, holding these two insurance businesses. Similarly, other businesses he does. If the need is there in infusing money in Indiabulls Housing, he will do. After all, how does promoter raise money? He has to partly monetize his stake and then take care of the growth requirements of the other businesses, which he is doing.
Okay, but at the moment, the Indiabulls real estate venture money will go to Samir Gehlot, right? Indiabulls Housing doesn't own any stake in the real estate company.
Yes, absolutely. It's his asset, his property, his shares he's selling. So the money will obviously come to Mr. Gehlot.
Okay.
Who has, of course, financial commitments, obligations to meet his, financial sort of obligations.
All right.
That's fine.
Okay.